I had to break this in bites. Because once my blogs are too long, they won't upload, and it just takes forever sometimes. So anyhow, that's what's going on now. That I understand why Terry Jones got angry, but I'm glad that he's not going to have that public spectacle where he burns Korans, because I don't think any good will come of that. On another note, we're going to have, this is the 9th anniversary of September 11th, and we all remember where we were, was part of my discussion. I was at work, I worked a double, and I got sent a message that a plane had hit one of the towers. And of course, I gotta turn here, it's kind of a, alright, let me turn. Okay. So, a plane had hit one of the towers, and again, I didn't really think it was anything but a plane that crashed until sometime later a second plane had hit. And then it's pretty hard to imagine two coincidences that close together. And then, of course, once word got out that those were both planes that were hijacked, and there were planes in the air, and for a moment we weren't sure just how many other planes were hijacked or planning to be hijacked. Shortly after that, a plane hits the Pentagon, and the other one crashes in the Pittsburgh area that was re-hijacked by passengers who crashed the plane. One of the men was Todd Beamer, and he really made a big sacrifice, because I believe among the passengers was his 11-month-old son. And now I guess if you really put the logic together, you can say, well, they're both going to die anyway. So they saved many lives by his decision to re-hijack the plane. But at the same time, it would be easy to hesitate when you're thinking about the life of a child who's not even a year old. It's just something that almost can't be measured, or I almost can't explain strong enough what kind of emotion is involved in that. So that's what happened, and of course it's believed that the plane that the passengers were able to take over and crash in that field, it's believed that that plane was headed for either the Capitol or the White House. I guess we'll never know for sure. But at times like this, or just remembering this, and I guess I get some perspective of how my grandfathers felt on Pearl Harbor Day, because I was 30 at the time of 9/11, and that's approximately what my grandfathers were. Well, maybe they were a little older than that at the time of Pearl Harbor, but in any event, but at least Pearl Harbor was a military base, and it was, sailors who were warriors. They're trained for attack. It was a sneak attack, but it wasn't businessmen and women. It wasn't tourists. It was a totally different thing. To attack a city that's filled with tourists and business people, it didn't damage world trade like they had hoped it would, because in today's society, so many things are computerized and kept track of in other ways that the buildings of the World Trade Center themselves weren't completely necessary. They were needed. They were an important part, but they were a little bit expendable in the sense of world trade. I don't want to be quoted out of context here. I'm not suggesting that the buildings or the people in them were expendable. I'm just saying that world trade didn't depend on the towers being there to survive with modern technology. Had this happened 25 years earlier, I think it would have been much more devastating to world economics, which is part of what they were attacking. It wasn't just to destroy the towers, or just to. There was a much more calculated plan involved than just knocking down the towers. And that's my take on all that for now. Thank you.